Hey guys, what is up and welcome to another episode of Did You Know? This one featuring Nasus. Please do not forget to throw in a like if you enjoyed this episode, and also please check out the previous episodes of this series as well. But without much further ado, let us jump straight into his abilities. Since Nasus has to auto-attack in order to use his Q ability, people like Fiora or Pantheon can parry or block his ability. However, interestingly enough, if Jax is dodging and you seem to auto-attack him with the Q on, it will go straight through the dodge and actually deal damage straight to Jax. Since his Q technically turns his auto attack into a spell-like attack, Spell Shield will completely block the Q plus the auto attack damage. On top of being able to last hit things like minions for your Q stacks, did you know you can also kill ghouls, traps, and even a turret for a stack? Don't forget that your passive gives substantial lifesteal, so when you need sustain or are low but have no items that give lifesteal, you can still get a lot from this. Did you know that Nasus's Q ability affects turrets and gives Nasus immense pushing power in the late game? Don't forget, Q is an auto attack reset, meaning you want to auto attack first and then press Q right away for maximum damage. Did you know that even though Spirit Fire is obviously considered a spell, it will not pop things like Spell Shield from Sivir, Nocturne, or Banshee's Veil? Unlike someone like Riven's Q, the cooldown for Siphoning Strike does not start until you actually attack with it or until the ability just expires itself, and only then will it start its cooldown. Siphoning Strike can't critically strike, but the auto attack potentially can, and then it will add Siphoning's bonus damage afterwards. When casting Spirit Fire, did you know you can get a quick glance of the area in which you cast it near the center of the ability? Very useful for checking brushes. Nasus's Wither is one of the few CC slows that actually increases its slow percentage as the duration goes on, rather than decrease or stay the same, making it one of the best slows in the game. The HP you gain from your ulti cast will actually stay onto Nasus after your ulti is done, counting it as a heal. However, things like Grievous Wounds will not reduce the amount of health gain from your ultimates. This makes it have very similar properties to Lulu's ultimates. The good thing about Siphoning Strike is that since it acts like an auto attack still, it will proc all lifesteal effects. This obviously gives you a large chunk of life back when you attack. Alright, enough about his abilities, let us jump into the cool facts and lore as there's quite a bit to cover here. Nasus was designed by Ezreal, who also made Ezreal, Ahri, Cho'Gath, Blitz, Kassadin, Jax, Irelia, Nocturne, and many more. The voice actor for Nasus, and arguably one of the best in the game, his name is Gene McDaniels, and he was an African American singer and songwriter. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2011. Nasus seems to look a lot like Anubis, who is an Egyptian god. As many know, Nasus has a brother whose name is of course Renekton, and if Nasus is a reference to Anubis, then Renekton is a reference to Sobek. The scepter that Nasus wields is similar to a wasp, which is what the Egyptian gods held. Did you know that Nasus is one of the few champions in the league to have multiple textures per skin? Of course for his normal form, and then when he ultis he is larger and usually has different colors. During development, Nasus was first called Amon. Nasus is among the few champions in the league that can continue to increase his stats with farm, the others of course being Sion, Thresh, and Veigar. Nasus's joke,
"Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof. Woof,"
is of course a quote from the famous song Who Let the Dogs Out by Bahaman. Nasus's quote,
"Where angels fear to tread,"
comes from Alexander Pope's writing. Infernal Nasus's quote,
"Hope is the opiate of the frail,"
is an adaptation of Karl Marx's famous aphorism, "Religion is the opiate of the masses." Did you know that Infernal Nasus and Yorick both share a quote?
"I will bury you alive. I will bury you alive."
Infernal Nasus's other quote,
"By fire be purged,"
is a reference to Ragnaros from World of Warcraft. Galactic Nasus references to the TV series Stargate, where there are alien humanoid Egyptian guards of Ra. Riot Nasus refers to the K9 unit or the K-9 unit of police forces. This skin is not available for regular purchase. Dread Knight Nasus has the same theme as the one and only Dread Knight Garen. Apparently, in another world, Nasus was part of a race of animalistic creatures that served as the rulers and protectors of the people. He was known as the Keeper of the Great Library, teaching the scholars who came to study at the library about the cycle of life and death. This probably explains his quote,
"The cycle of life and death continues. We will live, they will die."
Nasus believes his brother, Renekton, is beyond redemption and doesn't even consider him a brother anymore, which is why he wants to slay him so badly. Did you know that Nasus is most at home in the ruins of the Shurima Desert, which is an arid territory in the southern half of Valoran? In the recent rework, Nasus has many new quotes that add, for example, to his jokes, such as,
No, I will not fetch the ball.
He also has quotes when using specific abilities, for example, Wither.
Become dust.
He also has interaction with Renekton when taunting him in a game.
Rage burned away all that was good in you, my brother.
And also,
Renekton was lost long ago. You are but his pale shadow.
in Infernal Nasus skin, he has new taunts to Renekton and also 2 quotes that he says whenever he slays him. Let's take a listen to the first 2 taunts.
I will show you the meaning of butchery, brother. You have wasted your power, Renekton. Now bleed for it.
And now let's listen to the quotes he says whenever he slays Renekton in Infernal Nasus.
The butcher carved to pieces. The butcher drowned in his own blood.
Infernal Nasus, of course being a legendary skin, adds quotes whenever he uses Siphoning Strike and his ultimates.
Every death feeds my fury.
There are many more that he says, but that's just one example. Now let's take a look at an example of when he activates his ultimate form.
Run, cowards!
Alright guys, and that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Nasus. Please don't forget to throw in a like down below if you enjoyed this video, and also write a comment below on what you want to see in the next episode. As you can see, this one was suggested by a user in the previous episode. Also, once more, a quick shout out to my sponsor, Razer. Definitely check out the Razer Comms app down below to be able to chat and game with your friends more efficiently. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Peace!